Ich bin mal sehr gespannt. Oh Gott, wohin das alles noch führen wird. Die Crimson Cat. So viele Sachen. Ah. Okay, gehen wir zuerst mal zum Polizeirevier. Ah, up to no good.
I was beginning to wonder when you'd show up.
Well, wonder no longer. I'm here and I need to see Dr. Edwards.
Oh, I see how it is. He helped you solve a case, and now you don't have time for us lowly front desk clerks.
That's just the way it goes, Upton. Maybe next time you should pick a nicer coffee house.
Right. You know the way. Snelling isn't in today, so you're all clear.
Well, that's a relief. Thanks, Upton.
Kann ich nicht mit dir reden?
Can we talk for a moment?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
Die ist ja viel netter als letztes Mal. Krass.
Would you happen to have any information on the opium den in Chumley?
I know there is one, but that's about it. The department doesn't have the manpower to bother keeping files on that sort of establishment.
So
True.
no idea how one might get inside.
I'm afraid not. Those places are very hush-hush about
Der
their
Drache
activities.
reiten.
They're
Vielleicht.
almost like exclusive high society clubs in their own seedy way.
Ne.
Interesting observation. I think I'll keep that in mind.
Ich denke mal, wenn wir den Drachen reiten wollen.
That was one hell of an
Gott, das klingt
election,
so, ey.
wasn't it?
That it was. I don't know how he managed it, but I'm glad Leroy won.
I feel the same. Atwood seemed convinced he had it in the bag.
I think he just grossly underestimated how much the Lygia disaster affected everyone. Thought we could go on like nothing happened. Hell, if Prince Harold hadn't been aboard, we would have. Isn't that sad?
How are things with you?
Better than last week, but plenty of feathers still ruffled around here.
What happened?
You have to ask. Snelling was not happy with you turning up at the Latham crime scene. He was a right inquisition around here. Snelling going around to interrogate everyone, trying to ferret out a leak.
So he suspects.
I'm afraid so. I managed to calm him down some and divert suspicion. He thinks someone on the force is speaking to the Gazette, not to you directly.
Well, that's some kind of relief. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Oh, don't worry about me.
Doch.
Well, maybe worry about me a little.
Ja.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about Ronan Lespay, would you?
Probably nothing more than you already know. His body is in the mortuary, and the reason for his murder is unknown. I suggest you speak with Dr. Edwards.
Klingt gut, dann mache ich das.
I'll let you get back to work.
And you'd better do the same.
Jap, dann gehe ich mal. Tschüss. Wow. Ah, das beste Zimmer von allen. Dr. Eddie Wards. Hi.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything, Edwards.
Ah, Fordham. Always a pleasure.
Have you got time for some questions?
Of course.
Ja, wunderbar. Schön, dass die Leute immer Zeit für mich haben. Freut mich voll.
So what can you tell me about Ronan Lespay?
Caucasian male, approximately 27 years old. Died of blood loss as a result of being shot at close range. He was brought in 4 nights ago. I performed the postmortem the following day. After that, his next of kin was contacted. I believe his sister came to identify the body.
Any personal opinions on what might have happened?
Well, the fact he was shot at such a close range would suggest it was done by someone he knew. And robbery doesn't appear to be a motive, since his wallet was found on the body with money in it. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
Better, I hope.
How's the coroner business?
Things have been pretty dead around here lately.
Don't quit your day job, Edwards.
Entschuldigung.
Did the postmortem reveal anything?
Quite a few things, actually. Mr. Lespay was extremely inebriated when the shooting took place. There was enough alcohol in his blood to presume he had been drinking for hours before his death. I also managed to remove the bullet from his heart. It's a .36 caliber lead ball, standard revolver shot. It shouldn't be too hard to match to a weapon, provided you can find it.
Nee, hab ich doch schon. Wunderbar.
I found this pistol at the scene of the Lespay crime. Did you take a look and see if it was used to murder him?
It's all slimy. Where was it?
Sitting at the bottom of a storm drain.
Oh, I suppose that's not as exciting as finding it inside someone's intestines. Did I ever tell you about that postmortem, by the way?
No, I certainly don't want to hear about it now. How long will it take you to analyze that pistol?
I should have something conclusive within the hour, if you don't mind waiting.
No, it'll give me some time to gather my thoughts.
Right. I've concluded my analysis, and this gun was definitely used to shoot Mr. Lespay. The bullet I removed from his body is a perfect match.
Thank you, Edwards. That is extremely helpful.
There's one more thing. I cleaned off some of the muck and found the initials JB etched into the handle.
Interesting.
Oh, nicht Jimbo.
My expertise with guns is purely forensic, so I can't determine if this is the gun's maker or the initials of its owner. That's going to have to be your job.
Thank you, Edwards. Help is always appreciated.
Bloß nicht Jimbo.
Did you notice anything unusual about the clothes Mr. Lespay was wearing?
Unusual? Not really. They seemed a bit big for him, but that's all.
His sister seemed convinced that they didn't belong to him.
That's a distinct possibility, but I couldn't say for sure. He could have just been a sloppy dresser.
Das ist richtig. Okay, dann gehen wir
I'll be
wieder.
going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham. And remember, not everyone gets to leave the morgue alive. So consider yourself lucky that you can.
Ja, aber viele betreten sie auch nicht lebendig. Also, wenn viele Leute sie lebendig beträten und dann tot verließen, das würde mir wirklich Sorgen bereiten, mein Freund. Okay, so, wir gehen. Tschüss, Uptin. So, dann haben wir das geklärt. Da haben wir noch den TPräparator, Crimson Cat und die Opiumhöhle zu erledigen. Gehen wir doch mal zum Tierpräparator. Gibson.
Hello and welcome to the Gripsom Taxidermy Shop. Please let me know if I can be of service.
Natürlich.
Is that supposed to be a lion?
Oh Gott, was ist das?
I wonder how many people it took to bring down this brute. There's a small button on the base. Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next?
Ui, 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 ui.
Reminds me of the one in the Dupre house, except that one actually looked alive. There's a small button on the base.
Welcome to the Gripsom Taxidermy Shop. Please enjoy our displays and be sure to consider us for all your taxidermy needs. Just a reminder, we stuff animals only.
Ich will hier raus.
Exotic dead fauna from every other continent. You never even need to leave Vespuccia.
Ich mag die
That leads into a
nicht.
room with even more dead things. It's such a shame we haven't the time to stick around and explore. I thought owls were supposed to be wise. How'd this one let itself end up on display in a place like this?
Ja, okay, hi Verkäufer. Ich würde
I
diese
was
Tiere nicht mehr
wondering if you
anschauen
might
müssen.
answer some questions for me.
Of course. What can I help you with?
Oh, Draco, bist du das? Mensch, Junge, geh mal mehr als Tageslicht, aber ganz ehrlich, oh. Nein, okay, das ist böse. No.
So how did you get this job?
Oh, it isn't a terribly exciting story, I'm afraid. I just saw an ad in the Gazette for a clerk position. I never expected to learn so much about taxidermy.
I'm sure he's amazing conversation at parties.
I was told Ronan Lespay works here. Do you know him?
Ronan? Yes, of course. That is to say, I know he works here. I haven't had much interaction with him. He mostly keeps to himself.
Does he have an office or workspace I might have a look at?
Now, wait just a minute. Why would I let some random stranger off the street in to look at an employee's workspace?
Because I'm a private investigator and I'm trying to get some information.
Well, even if that is the case, I'm afraid you're out of luck. Ronan does have a workspace, but it's completely bare. He doesn't keep anything here.
Okay.
Anything you can tell me about the shop?
Plenty! This is New Britannia's most sophisticated taxidermy shop. Unlike other taxidermists, we work with modern technology to get results they could only dream of.
What does that mean exactly?
Using steam tech, we are able to create the illusion of life in these beasts. Just take a look at our floor samples. The parrot and gorilla are two of our finest works. They really speak for themselves. Well, the parrot does at least. I think it would frighten our customers if the gorilla did too. And once ethericity is harnessed as a viable source of energy, we'll get even better results.
This guy is way too excited about bringing dead things back to life.
Yes, fascinating. Moving on. Were you aware that Ronan was murdered 4 nights ago?
I had no idea. That's awful. What happened?
That's what I'm currently trying to find out. Do you know if Ronan had any enemies? Anyone who might want to do him harm?
No. As I said, I didn't speak with him much or know much about him. But now that I think about it, I did notice a strange man waiting around outside the shop a few days ago.
Tell me about this strange man you saw.
At the time, I didn't think much of him, but the more I recall, the more I realize he was being very suspicious.
What did he do?
He just stood outside across the street, but he seemed to be focusing on the building. It was as though he was waiting for someone.
Do you remember what this man looked like?
I didn't get a very good look at him, but I do remember some things. He was tall and had a heavy build, like a boxer or a dock worker. He had a beard, I think, or mutton chops at the very least. And as far as I can recall, he was wearing all black. He also had on some kind of cap. I'm sorry I can't give you a better description, but that's all I was able to distinguish. My eyesight isn't very good, I'm afraid.
It'll have to do. Thank you for your help.
Das war wahrscheinlich Jimbo, oder?
Thank you for your help.
I'm here to serve.
Ja, schöne Einstellung. Jimbo. Ich habe die Befürchtung, dass viele Fäden halt zu ihm führen. Da haben wir ihn.
Ah, the Crimson Cat. One of my favorite underground clubs. Ooh, I spent some wild nights here. Which reminds me, I wonder if Stefan is still working the bar these days.
Sieht cool aus auf jeden Fall.
Fine beer always served here. Good to know. Good old Bollingworth Ale. Unlike so many other things in life, it never lets you down. Well, not while you're drinking it anyway. The next morning is another story entirely. This place has been around for quite some time. That well-dressed feline is Red, the official mascot. Call me old-fashioned, but I've always felt the piano should be played by an actual human. These automated ones just don't have any soul.
Ja, da verspielt sich niemand. Und ganz ehrlich, wenn sich Leute verspielen, es gibt so ein richtig, weiß ich nicht, wenn Leute drüber lachen können zusammen, hat was.
Use of
Naja,
Dr. Tennyson's vigor pills while under the influence of alcohol may cause loss of consciousness.
egal.
It's nice to see this establishment looking out for its patrons.
Mensch, Bill ist auf einmal so.
Seagrave's Stasholine, high-quality mustache wax. You know, I always wondered what you'd look like with a mustache.
Ich mich auch, tatsächlich. Okay, aber sonst viele Leute, die wir nicht ansprechen können. Was ist hier? Ach, das Klavier ist hier. Okay. Okay. Zapfanlage.
Looks like they've got Bollingworth, Millhopper, and Brooklyn Lager. Not a bad set of beers.
Mhm.
Quite the selection. It rivals even the Angel.
Und da haben wir den Seemann.
Beg your pardon. Your name wouldn't happen to be Jimbo, would it?
Yeah? Who's asking?
Miles Fordham, private investigator.
Can a guy enjoy his shore leave without being harassed by the law? I've done nothing wrong.
I didn't say you had, and I'm most certainly not the law. I just want to ask you a few questions.
All right, fine.
Jimbo. Hi.
Where does the name Jimbo come from?
It's just a nickname. My real name's James Bowcroft.
And what is it you do?
I'm a sailor. I thought you detective types were supposed to be extra observant. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what my occupation was just by looking at my fingernails or something?
Sorry to disappoint. Perceptiveness is important in my line of work, but I'm also just a man.
I think perhaps Jimbo has been reading too many of those detective stories in Brentwells.
Do you know Ronan LeSpay?
I knew him, yeah.
Knew him?
He and I haven't spoken recently. In about a month, actually. Things didn't go so well last time.
How do you mean?
Let's just say we didn't part on the best of terms. He made it very clear that he didn't want to speak to me again.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered?
What? No, when? What happened?
He was shot outside a tavern in Chumley 4 nights ago.
Chumley? What was he doing there?
I was hoping perhaps you could tell me.
I honestly don't know. Ronan hardly went out, and he especially never crossed the river.
Why was that?
I think he was just too scared of the world to go out and see it for himself. He was happy enough reading about it in his books or collecting things I brought him back from my travels. Honestly, that's what I liked most about him. He was just an average, boring man. It was just the sort of balance I needed in my life.
That's pretty much the exact same reason I always enjoyed working with you, Miles.
Alter. Arsch.
You and Ronan had a special relationship, didn't you?
Mr. Fordham, we're in an underground club. You don't have to tap dance around it. Yes, Ronan and I were a couple. At least up until last month.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
We had a misunderstanding. Ronan thought I had been seeing someone else. He was extremely jealous. I tried to explain that he had it all wrong, but he wouldn't hear me out. I was going to give him some time to cool off, but, well, that's not going to happen now, is it?
If it's any consolation, I found a letter you wrote him, which he still kept in his desk.
Damn. Thank you for telling me that.
Do you have any opinions about the recent election?
Not really. I'm usually way at sea, so I don't keep up with politics. The sea's got her own laws. Anyway, I can't vote, so it's really none of my concern.
But you're still affected by the decisions the Prime Minister makes.
Not very fair, is it, Mr. Fordham?
No, but hopefully Mr. Leroy will stand up for equal rights.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay. Jimbo, ich lasse dich noch nicht so ganz von der Angel. Du hast den ganzen Tag vor dem Schuppen gestanden, vor dem Tierpräparator. Aber dich noch ein bisschen, weiß ich nicht. Irgendwie, ist mir das Ganze nicht ganz so geheuer.
You again?